Well, oh, guys, what can we say? This is Matic TV. Hopefully, you have just tuned into my protest vlog. I can't have the TV on anymore, can I? The protest vlog is live on the channel now, guys. Hopefully, you've watched that and understood what was going on there today and why we're in the situation we're in now. We should be right now talking, complaining, moaning, doing whatever about the football game, but it's not happened. The fans have turned up in their thousands today at Old Trafford. And yes, there was a lot that was wrong with today's protest, because it wasn't so much a protest. It was more I don't know what to describe or how to describe what today was. You were supposed to be out there just making your voices heard. Some took it too far, and that is why the game isn't going on today. Yeah, it is bad news for us in terms of we won't be able to watch a football game. But then again, it is about the bigger picture right now. And if the fans are powerful enough to stop a European Super League, powerful enough to postpone a Premier League game of the stature of Manchester United, Liverpool, at this stage of the season when everything is going down and is on the line in terms of league positions, in terms of trophies being handed out, then the power of the people is there. It is all clear. The game is officially cancelled, guys. If you haven't already heard the news, then I'm doing this video now being live because the game is off. A club statement has just come out and said that the game has been cancelled. I've not seen anything or looked too far into when it's being rescheduled for, but it is officially off and it's going to have to be played again. God knows what happens from here. We don't know where we go from here, but all that was very clear today was I said this in my match day vlog, in my protest vlog. If you guys haven't seen that, do check it out. It is on the channel now. That will give you the inside look on what was going down today, how rowdy it was getting in and around that area. I did actually see people smash through a door at Old Trafford, get inside Old Trafford. I didn't see where they got in on the pitch, but where I was, just around the Munich tunnel area, it was around that part where they broke through. Smoke bombs were set off inside the stadium. So you can understand in terms of a stadium safety aspect, they won't tell you everything, what's going on, but you can imagine all protocols and everything that had to be reset because smoke alarms would have been going off inside. Fans were inside, fans were in elevators, guys. Fans were upstairs in the stands. In the end, the stewards had to open the doors and the police just had to let everyone out because there was that many of them inside. This was after the pictures that you guys seen of everyone on the pitch. That was all done and dusted. I've seen them guys coming back out on the other side of the stadium. So then we went back round. It was all singing, cheering, dancing. And then people broke in to Old Trafford, got inside. Like I said, then glass was smashed inside the stadium, inside the stand. Smoke bombs were set off inside. And to be fair, for a stadium that big, there's no way that we're probably going to be able to let it go ahead, because I don't know if they would have been confident enough to say, look, we've got everyone out of the stadium now. It is a massive stadium. And for the staff that they had on, which wasn't a lot, guys, it really wasn't. It was poor. And yeah, I'm just answering people. There's a lot of people messaging me right now. I've just done this now just to see how you guys are and where you're at with everything. I've seen a lot of backlash on social media as well from people. I think people were fed up of terms of how fans were behaving outside stadium, inside stadium. And I can understand that. I can understand that totally, because a lot of people from different countries have stayed up. They've got different times. It means a lot to everyone. And I do hear and I do feel people's anger in all of this. I'm aware of a few. We can't. The problem is, guys, we can't even say a few stupid fans, because there was hundreds, possibly at one point through the whole space of the day, there was over 1,000 people that possibly got into Old Trafford. This is how drastic the situation was, and how I completely understand why this game isn't going ahead. I'm trying to give you the inside look of what happened. I was actually there, and I could tell you exactly how it was going down and how the decision actually was made to call this game off. I've just got Tim, who was supposed to be in with me today for the watch along, completely got kiboshed, but Tim is here with us. I mean, Tim, I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures and everything. I'm just here to basically answer any questions anybody wants to know. Anything that went down, I'm just trying to clear up what was going on, why I thought the game was cancelled. Mate, it wasn't so much the pictures that you guys seen on TV. It was the pictures that you didn't see, where smoke bombs and flares were going off inside the stadium, in elevators. Yeah. Police, smash glass. There's pictures all over social media now, guys. So you will get an idea of what was actually going down. But from over there, I mean, Tim, how did it look from overseas? Was it as chaotic on TV as it actually was there in person?
Yeah, it looked pretty chaotic, mate. I was following it obviously on social media, and so it was good. They got a bunch of different varying perspectives. Hey,
yeah, what up?
But yeah, it did look chaotic, but you know, I think the fans going into the stadium, opinions seem to be pretty split on that on social media. But I think what you saw with that was it wasn't necessarily the direct result of what's taken place over the last couple of weeks. This has been crescendoing to 16 years of just, contempt for the fan base, contempt for the club that these owners have had. And when you initiate something as extreme as they did with this Super League, and you try to rip the heart and soul out of a football club that, let's be honest, over here, we would never see anything like this over here, just because, some of the clubs in England are older than Canada and America are as countries. So, these clubs were fathered in communities and grew up in communities. People will know, like my grandfather lived on Warwick Road and passed the club on down to me. So, this is when you try to take it away from people like that, something that's been a part of the community, and at that extreme level that they went to, it's just the response sometimes is going to be extreme. And obviously you don't condone the violence, and you don't condone the destruction. I saw a flare thrown at the skybox. I mean, obviously that can't happen, but I'm sort of on the side of it of I understand why it went to that level, and I get it.
Yeah. As you guys can see, I've been joined by my man Bobs, and we're also joined today by the football capital making a debut on the station. I'm going to come to you first, buddy, because you are at the other side. Oh, we're at all four corners of the world here today, people. I'm here in Manchester. I've got Tim over in Canada. Bob's in Scotland. Only joking, mate. And then we've got the football capital. I'm sorry, mate, I haven't got your name yet. Everything was just going so quick. But over in Sydney, am I right?
Yeah, over in Sydney. My name's Borche. So thanks for having me on.
Good to meet you, mate. Good to meet you. What time is it over there, mate, now?
It's almost 3 a.m.
Oh, see, this is where I see the painful side of it for people on social media, having to do this. It means a lot to a lot of people just to be watching United, and it's such a hard one. I'm sort of stuck right in the middle here now, because I was there actually with the fans today, and then we're getting it from likes of Tim from one side of the world on his time scale. We've now got our man here over in Sydney, 3 a.m. in the morning, guys. And I mean, how are you feeling right now, first of all, mate? I mean, it's a tough one. I can feel your pain and your anger in terms of having to stay up and watch the football. But where are you at with everything that's broken down today, mate? How's it being viewed over there right now in Sydney, in Australia?
Yeah, look, it's disappointing not to have the game on. I mean, this is probably the biggest game in world football, really. True. Manchester, Liverpool, and the fans have stopped it. And are we surprised? Are we in shock that this has happened? I mean, we had a chat with Bob's just before the game, and we speak about racism and what they don't do for it and all these other things. But when it comes to football, everyone decides to riot. To be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised really that this is going on. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it happening. But at the end of the day, for the voices of the fans to be heard, like we don't want it to get to this point. But look, sometimes it has to, and we always know when it turns into violence. Look, maybe it's not really violence. I didn't see anything get damaged or anything, but we can put it in that category. Um, maybe the fans' voices will be heard. You just stop one of the biggest games in football. Man, look, for the fans need to have a voice, and if this is the only way that they're gonna listen, then unfortunately, so be it.
I mean, it's well said. I mean, it's hard to say it like this, but you don't want to see the violence. I mean, I've seen the one picture, and so you guys have seen it of the police officer with the cut underneath his eye. I mean, I was there. I did post pictures out, and if you guys haven't seen my vlog from what happened today, that is on the channel right now. There is that actual moment when missiles, bottles, and cans were starting to be thrown as the police were making their first move in. There are more pictures online now of when it started to get a bit more heated, but the police then made a decision at a certain point when it was getting a bit rowdy to just take control, and then they just went in, and it was quickly. I'd not seen, because by that time I'd moved away from that area, so I can't say. But Bob's looking at this, mate. I mean, it's a big statement. I think I've just heard the guys talking here on Sky, mate. So this was a massive call to call this game off, which makes me think something else wasn't quite right, because I've heard reports saying fans have moved away from the Lowry 2 hours ago, so it was all clear there. They were waiting on word from the stadium. Something else, maybe like what I've touched on, the smashed glass, the smoke bombs, the flares inside the stadium, health and safety protocols completely thrown out the window, something like that. But to call a Manchester United Liverpool game off at this stage of the season, this is headline news. This is big news. Is this like what Football Capitals have said there? I mean, is this what it's going to take? Is this the big moment when the fans' voice, or maybe not just a voice, this time a few actions as well, but it has actually made a massive impact on this season now, because this hampers Liverpool and Manchester United as a club.
Do you know what, right? Look, I was saying this to me and Bocce, we do watch-alongs, right? So we're getting ready for the watch-along, and we're just doing some technical stuff and just chatting, yeah? And I said to him, I was like, from nothing comes from peace. And I'm talking about history now. British Empire, colonization, Americans. So it was called a civil war. There was nothing civil about it. and my point is that being peaceful, I can go back to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, well, so on and so on. Yeah, but look, this is protesting, and nothing peaceful, no change comes from peaceful protest. And today was more than just a statement. This was like, it was a statement. It wasn't just intent. It was a statement to say we are not going away. There's only going to be one winner here. You know, there's the other way you can see it about the owner's point of view and so on, that, you know, he's invested money. Whichever way you see it, okay, this is a business. However, today is monstrous. It's monumental. Man United against Liverpool got called off due to a fan's protest. I'll repeat that. Man United against Liverpool got called off due to a fan's protest. That's huge. Now, there's repercussions. Money's been lost. Sky TV viewing has been lost. Their pockets will be dented today. And I dare say it's the start of something to come, more to come. You know, at the end of the day, people love Man United. You know, this is their football club, and we can't be disillusioned by what Souness is saying. People are doing this because they love Manchester United. You know, I've seen.
We'll touch on that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, this is what's going to happen now. It's got to the point now. It's cliche. Enough is enough, and you know my thoughts, man. I just wish that we kept the same energy for everything, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the start, man, and I think I dare say it's going to keep going on, and something's going to happen. And God forbid, but something will probably have to happen to someone. Then they'll be like, right, we're selling. So yeah, but good on you for going, man. Seriously.
Yeah, 2 weeks,
Yeah, well
2
done,
weeks
mate.
in a row, 2 weeks in a row, guys. It is, and you know what? Some of the banners there today, I'm talking the size of the things. I mean, a lot of it, Old Trafford was decorated in banners yesterday. All around the stadium was covered in them, and you can see it was well organised today in terms of that. Thing is, you can't stop people buying alcohol. You can't stop people congregating together when they've been locked up for so long. And there is an element of that in this today. And I'm guessing that there's probably some non-United fans there today. Just people, maybe, who just don't like football as well there today. Just wanted to get together with their mates, go and have a drink, go and cause some trouble possibly. I mean, the pictures of Bank Holiday, this is it. I mean, and I'm going to come on to my next point is, and I said this in my protest vlog, another occasion where Manchester United Football Club has taken the fans for granted. This protest was documented everywhere, and I'm saying on every media outlet, all over social media. And for them to be so weak today in terms of security, and there being no police presence there until after everything had started happening. I mean, the danger that some of the staff were under at Old Trafford today, we've seen the pictures. Stewards are just like that. Go on, through you go. I'm not standing in your way. I'm not being paid enough for this. This is now showing with inside Old Trafford and the staffing and things that are going on right now. Even the staff, I don't think, are completely on board with this football club right now. There is noises coming out of Old Trafford left, right and centre. And I think, like you said, Bobs, mate, I think this is a big moment. I mean, Tim, we knew about this protest, mate. They had a warning last week when there's a peaceful one that went off. There were thousands, 3,000 or 4,000 there last weekend. Today, I'm not kidding, I would say possibly upwards of 8,000, 10,000 fans there today. And I'm saying that just through, I can't break it down, tell you exactly how many were there. I'm not in a position to do that, but I go to games and I know how much allocation we have in away sections, and I know usually how many fans are around. And this was 3 times that many. So for them to be, dare I say, I don't know how to put it, man. How can you not be organised for something like this? This basically is just another. It shows you again how weak this football club is right now. How they're taking things like this for granted because they're putting people's lives at risk as well. Staff members, because I said probably maybe 1,000 people. Yeah, maybe 1,000 people got inside Old Trafford today at one point or another.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
How's that happen? It's synonymous with how things are being run at the minute, mate. It really is.
Exactly my point.
You know, I'm sure that a lot of people that work at the stadium, obviously United supporters, and probably on side with the fans anyway. So, you know, how robust and how motivated were they to stamp things out? I mean, you know, maybe they were okay with what was going on too. But regardless, yeah, like to be that ill prepared, not only there, but then also at the team hotel, with, you know, how long things have carried on there. Yeah, like
naive, isn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah, it's mental. It really is. So, but like, you know, how I think it comes to how bothered will the Glazers be by this? I think
this is it, mate.
You touched on it. It's the financial impact, and when you hear about things today, like, you know, the jerseys, the Adidas is getting upset with them because jersey sales are slumping. Like, I think that's where the trend. You know, we've voiced ourselves. Yeah, like we've all voiced ourselves online. Those who can't be at Old Trafford, those who can be, have done a tremendous job of vocalizing it and getting attention to it today and last week. Now the real work begins, and the way you drive these people out that only respond to money and only know about making money and only care about money is you've got to hit them in the pocketbook. So that's where it needs to go from here.
I mean, Alien Tedo, Borch, is it Borcher? I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
Bocce.
say the name. Bocce, that's the one. I've got it. Alien Tenor thinks you look like Alexis Sanchez, mate. So
Hey?
he says you look like Alexis Sanchez. Just have to bring up the super chat. But I mean, again, Bocce, mate, it's the way this football club is run. It's like they pay no attention to the fans at all. They had ample warning, and again today, mate.
Yeah, you're right. They had the protest last week. And like
Yep.
you said, even in Australia, we know there was going to be another protest.
Exactly. That says it all.
But like we said, they had it coming. Like we saw it was when we wanted to sign Bruno, they delayed it in the summer transfer window. And then when the fans were making noise to get players in January, they still delayed it to when people had to go to Ed Woodward's house and light flares and cause a scene over there. That's what the next day what happened. Bruno got signed. So this is we don't want to see it happen, but at what point are they going to listen to the fans? I mean, like
We're going to
for how
send
long?
Sancho,
It's been
Haaland, and flipping Varane now. Watch.
Oh, God, yeah.
Pre-contracts tomorrow morning need to be done. But like I don't know what.
That's
Everyone
it.
forget about it.
16 years. 16 years. The fans have been asking for some sort of change, and they've just sucked the life out of this club. Look where we are. Like we haven't won a trophy. Next year is going to be what 10 years with no Premier League if we don't get it. Like this is Manchester United. What are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like how long are the fans going to suffer? And it's not all right. It's not just about the trophies and winning games and bringing players in. These guys are taking money out of our club. We're still in this debt after how many years? We're still in this debt. And like we're saying with these Adidas deals and all that, they're gonna be like, you know what? We don't want to be a part of this. We're gonna pull out.
Look at it. Okay, Bocci said it right there, Bob's mate. It's we've seen the report today regarding Adidas shirt sales. This is where it's going to ultimately hit the Glazers because that's another day, another weekend, a bank holiday weekend where the megastore has been closed at Old Trafford. Another day's takings, another day's wages that they will have to pay the staff for not being there. And do you know what? Old Trafford, it's not the most appealing. It's historically pleasing for a lot of football fans. But you know what, mate? The day trippers aren't going to come out very soon as well. Because this is a dated old stadium now. This is not in the top, in this country alone, it's probably not even in the top 5 anymore. It's there for nostalgia reasons only. In terms of quality, it's not there. And then, like what you said, then the sponsors, mate. Sponsors and things like that are going to start hampering. Right now at the front of Old Trafford, they've got the big red thing on the front, the big banner thing on the front, which is pretty much just covering up a load of rust and a load of old glass, mate. That's been there for God knows how long. That's just a cheap way of covering things up, mate. So this, like you said at the start, Bobs, could be the start of something because this combined with what we've seen today with the Adidas, the shirt sales, so on and so forth, shutting the stadium down 2 weekends in a row, it has to have some form of impact. And, mate, we said it the other day as well, 104,000 signatures now. So on the petition, it has to go to Parliament. It has to be discussed as well now. So a massive, massive movement is going on right now, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I think today will be remembered for so many reasons, but I think the most positive reason is that, the fans were able to stop. Well, let's not say stop the game. We're able to send an imminent message to the board, and I think it's how you illustrate the message when saying it. Because, listen, unfortunately, like you said, there's going to be a day. It's bank holiday. Unfortunately, people are going to drink alcohol. You can't control every single human being. Everyone knew the message was supposed to. I assume getting into the stadium wasn't a part of the plan, but point overall message was there. We want you to sell, want you to grow. And look, I've told you this before. Owners only think about money and numbers. What I say to people is, see all this Glazers out and stuff, right? They don't see this as bad media. They see it as, well, we're very popular. How many hits are we going to get? This is going to help sponsors. Blah
Yeah.
blah. Now, one of the sponsors came out and said they're not happy with the sales. I find that very interesting for that to come out now. Very interesting to come out now. And maybe
Yeah.
some of the sponsors are Man United fans, but then again, if Man United are not making any money, most sponsors are going to be like, "Yo, what are we sponsoring you for?" So, like I said, it's the start of something. The only way to hurt these people is financially, 100%. And I don't know, but is there not like a financial fine if games get abandoned?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
So there you go. And listen, it might get to the point where Man United get docked with 3 points. Listen, we don't know how far the FA can take this. They could use Man United as an example. And one side of it, I'm like, do it, so they know what they're actually up against. So I think, guys, this is not going away. It's going to be interesting this summer for Manchester United. I dare say it's going to be just as important than when Ronaldo left. Probably more important, because we were all like, who's going to replace Ronaldo? I mean, the whole world stopped for a summer, and we all know what happened. But for this now, it's bigger, because like back those days, 80 million was something, yeah. But like now, this is like, we're talking billions of pounds now.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're in a lot of trouble. I think they're in a lot of trouble.
I mean, I'll just come on to. I'll just get Drizzy's super chat out of the way. I'm coming to you on that now, Tim. Actually, mate, I am all for peaceful protest, but I don't like fans entering the stadium and breaking things. I think the Premier League should give Liverpool 3 points. Well, we're not all for that. Let's be honest. Let's settle down a little bit. But I understand totally. I had an Oldham fan messaging me today, Tim. He says, "This is ridiculous. This is the football club that's tried to cheat the league and break away, breaking all Premier League rules. This is another team now that's had the Premier League game cancelled. Where is the punishment? When is anything going to happen, mate? Because the Premier League here are dragging heels. I don't know what they're doing, mate, but all this is going on. The Premier League are doing absolutely nothing right now. Is this all going to come to a massive crescendo and a big hit in the summer?" And Bob said it then. This could be massive, but it could be massive in all sorts of different avenues for this football club this summer.
Yeah. Well, I think the Premier League. I think the. Sorry, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I think with the Premier League, I think they know this Super League thing might come back. So if they start pulling out fines for United, deducting points, the Glazers can easily go, you know what, let's sign this thing and let's go into this league. Now what? The Premier League suffers now because the big teams are not in it. So that's why I think the Premier League hasn't really come out to say anything about these protests, even when Chelsea stopped the bus. Not that maybe they have, I just haven't probably seen. But when Chelsea stopped the bus, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You didn't really hear anything. Especially when you got ex-players and all the pundits that are praising, that are saying, that are for these protests about all these owners and all that stuff. So deducting points, fines maybe, yes, as long as it's coming out of the Glazers' pockets, not from Man United. But it's not gonna, like, it's this needed to happen. As bad as it is, it needs to happen. Like, if you look at some of the leagues out, like in Europe, let's just say in the Croatian league, when the owner wanted to change the name of Dinamo Zagreb, same thing. They burnt his box. And he changed it back, because you know why? The fans literally will run the club. If it's not for the fans, you have no club. And when they get it might be too late. It might be too late. You're gonna have maybe more windows smashed up at Old Trafford, because, like you were saying before, they're covering up all the rust and all the damage that they've never fixed. There's still leaks in the stadium. The toilets have never been changed or fixed since the stadium opened. Old Trafford is probably one of the most photographed buildings in the world, and it's looking like that. Like, what do you expect from
I think where the summer comes into it is, I genuinely believe that the Glazers are broke. I mean, they're pulling £100 million off this revolving line of credit to compensate for paying staff at the stadium, for operating costs of the football club. You know, they're trying to deflect. You see the spin in the papers now with the players that we're being linked to. So I think this is a pivotal summer for them because, you know, they don't have a lot of currency to spend with the fans. So to now go into the summer when you really need to try to, I guess, you know, get some currency to spend with the fans in terms of bringing in players and making the fans forget about this, they don't have the money to do that. So we're not going to see the likes of a Hollander come in. We're not going to see the likes of a Sancho come in. It's just not going to happen because the Glazers don't have the money to do it. So I think now is the fan base, now is the time to push them over the edge. And there is a massive opportunity in the 16 years they've been at the club. This is probably easily the biggest opportunity to get them out.
Yeah, I mean, Keane just joined us from the Weekly Armchair podcast. Keane, we were all hoping we were going to stick it to the Scousers today. The fans stuck it to Manchester United today, mate. I think that's the only way I can describe what went down today. I expected a pretty big turnout. I expected it to be quite rowdy, seeing as though it was a bank holiday. Even when it started to pour down the rain, it didn't dampen anyone's spirits, mate. It carried on going. I mean, where are you at in terms of what's happened today? Is it a big day for football for you, mate, in terms of a Premier League being called off simply because of football fans, mate?
Look, everyone has a right to protest. Let's get that right straight away. I think everyone has a right to protest. Freedom of speech is a very big thing, and all football fans have every right to protest in every way. I think there's ways to do it. I think obviously criminal damage and showing flares and stuff like that at people who have nothing to do with the situation isn't the way to approach it. The game being called off, obviously, look, that affects the players, but it also affects the Glazers because there's no money going into their pockets. But again, the fans have been pushed over the edge. I think this is important, and this is why I condemn some of the minorities' actions of what they've done, but the overall fan base as a whole being frustrated and been nearly pushed to this point, I can understand why they have been. Because these parasites have hemorrhaged money out of this football club for 16 years. And they haven't taken this club as a priority for 16 years. The first time Joe Glazer came out with a statement was on a Liverpool website in an announcement for the European Super League. As Manchester United fans, how are we supposed to feel when the owner of our football club makes his first statement on our biggest rival's website about selling the club, right? So I think the owners are disillusioned with this football club. And I think when you look at this stage, how far is this going to go? Because us as a fan base, we've had enough of this ownership, and we've had, with all the stuff we've had to endure in the last 6 years, like, when's it going to be? Where's the line going? When's it going to stop in terms of them taking their dividends out? In terms of them taking out over $1.5 billion out of the football club? Like, where does that stop? Something has to give, and something has to be done.
This is it, mate. I mean, guys, I just want to say, obviously, thank you for joining us on the stream. Obviously, we wanted to have football to watch, but do get your comments in, get your message in. I'm going to try and bring on some of your comments as well into the show now as well. We've got, like I said before, we've got Canada, we've got Scotland, we've got Ireland, we've got Manchester, and we've got Australia here today with us. This is how big this is, guys. I think if you didn't have any idea how big a news this is today, then you just have to look at the panel. You have to look at the comments and where everyone is commenting from. Everyone who follows any YouTube channel around the world. This football club is huge, and what the fans did today, you may argue, was wrong in some aspects. But has it been looked at and laughed upon what fans' opinions are? And a fan now has just got absolutely fed up and gone, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care if you ban me from this football club anymore, because I'm going to throw my season ticket away next week anyway, because I don't like the club, the way the club's being run. That's what I heard from a lot of people today, and I was there. So for me, it is that, and like he said, then enough is enough, and the fans now have just gone to a point where they don't care what backlash they're going to get. They don't care what trouble they're going to get the club in because they've fallen out of love with the club. And if it did get them in trouble and lose them points, I don't think fans are bothered anymore. And Bob's, the fact that it's got to that state kind of says everything you need to know right now.
Yeah. Like, look, I mean, look, guys, we need to, do you know what? Take all the politics aside, right? And all the, we shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done this. That's me, by the way, just to let you know.
I know, I have a feeling it was you, mate.
But like, I think what people need to realise, when I say people, I'm talking the hierarchy, you know, like your Sunuses and the people saying you shouldn't and stuff. Freedom of speech is allowed in this country, in the UK, around the world and stuff.
Yeah.
I keep emphasising there are always going to be idiots. However, you know, when you put money into something as a fan, you pay your season ticket. For like Bocce pays his plane fees, accommodation, football tickets, and so on and so on. And then you don't see a return. And when I say a return, as in your club being run functionally, well, not even functionally, properly or competently. We all, if we want to go to Man United, you know, we all have to travel, except for Adam, because he can just jog. But like, we all have to respectively travel, right? And when you support a club for 20 plus years, right, and you see this, like, it's not on, and you think to yourself, how is this possible? Like, this is Manchester United, and I know there's other clubs respectively, but this is Manchester United. This is probably one of the, if not the biggest club in the Prem, this is one of the best adverts for the Prem, this club, of what we've done, the heritage, the history. Do you know what I'm saying? You just said about Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? Old Trafford is looking old, but we all know the Theatre of Dreams is monumental. So it's going to keep going on, Adam. And I was just watching some of the clips there and stuff. You know, there was a lot more respectable than idiots. There's always one or two, but it's got to keep going. And I dare say, keep applying the pressure because, you know, just don't buy the new strips, guys. Literally, don't buy any merchandise. Don't do a Tottenham when the guy was up in the mega store protesting by. Get the green, golden green out. Seriously, like, this is just the first move in the chess game. Literally.
This is it. This is what I'm saying, people. If you do want to look like an old school fan like me, and I mean that in a way, not because of how old I look, because I am looking a bit old now. Yeah, I'm getting there. About the jerseys, drop down into the link in the description below. I have a link up there with the Retro Shirts company there. It's run with someone who we actually know as well. So, and they do deliver worldwide as well, people. So drop in and get on that link in the description below, and it gets all you the stuff that you see me doing the watch alongs in, because that's all that's going to be on here from now on. It's done. It's finished. Tim. Oh, yeah, that many people on the show. I forgot who was going to begin then for a second. Tim, that question there below by our man there in the chat. This has ramifications beyond. When are we going to get this game in, mate? Because I'm looking at the news right now and I'm trying to find out. I'm expecting United to make an announcement that possibly Liverpool are shacking up in this hotel tonight and we're trying to get this game on tomorrow.
I think it'll be tomorrow.
There's no midweek. There's no midweek now all the way through to the end of the season, mate, unless we go past the Europa League. We can't fit this game in, mate. So how can we get this in? Because the season has to finish. The Euros are on, mate. And UEFA, they ain't got no time for us right now, mate. Or Liverpool. They're not going to help us out. So I'm waiting for news, mate. I don't know where we get this in.
I think it'll have to be tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't think it's that bad for us, because if we play tomorrow, at least when we go into that Roma game on Thursday, we've got a 4-goal cushion going to Italy. Yeah. So, you know, if fatigue, at least you could rotate. You could rotate between the two games, and be fairly confident that you're obviously still going to progress on Thursday.
Yeah,
but
you know, Redman TV slugging off the protests. Yeah, don't care about you guys. Sorry.
Bob's,
we've seen your
Bob's
protest. We've
touched on
seen
it,
your
though.
feeble attempt at a protest, guys. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
I'm still seeing people on social media condemning things. Like, you have to remember that in any sort of action, there's always going to be an element that just there. It's a criminal element, or it's an element that's there just to cause problems, and you're going to have that in whatever type of protest or whatever type of demonstration, as peaceful as you try to keep it. It's just going to happen. So you got to kind of take that out of it and look at the rest of what took place today. And the fans made a statement. And to your point, Adam, like you touched on the international base of this panel. This goes to show this isn't an American thing. This is a Glazer thing. You don't have to be from Manchester to get the heart and soul of this football club. And as long as you have the desire to want to learn about it and to take on that heart and soul, that's all the fans want as an owner, right? I mean, just be present. The fact is, these owners haven't been there in 2 years. 2019, I think, was the last time they've been to a game. They're just as happy to sit at home. Joel Glazer is calling the shots during the transfer window from Florida. How are we operating like this? Enough is enough.
This is it. I mean, Bocce, I'm going to come to you now, mate, on a different look on this, mate. It's them players sat in a hotel. They would have seen everything going on there today. I'm trying to spin this as a positive, but they will understand what this football club means. No, they will understand what it means to the fans. And you know what? Maybe going forward, this will change a lot in terms of how the players are, how players look at the fans. And I'm not saying they take us for granted, but I'm telling you now, they're taking us a lot more seriously right now today.
Yeah, 100%. You were seeing when the whole Super League came out, how I think it Maguire, Shaw, Bruno, they all came out, spoke about the situation. Bruno put up a few tweets about you can't buy dreams. So they know. The players 100% know. Now all these other whatever Liverpool channels and all that who are condemning this, all these rival fans, if because of this protest, all these clubs get a 50+1 share in the club, what are they going to say then? This could be the spark. This could be the moment where, all right, let's give it back to the fans. Let's go to that 50+1, like you said. The petition, if we get enough signatures, that might go through because of what's happened today. Obviously, you don't want to see it. Obviously, we're all here ready to watch the game, but unfortunately, it is what it is at the end of the day. And like with the Glazers, like I just don't get it. Like if you guys want more money, win more trophies, bring the players in and start winning European trophies, start winning Champions League, let's win the Premier League again. Get the revenue that way. That means you have more fans. Like how many, if let's just say after Fergie left and all right, Moyes didn't work out. Let's say we won it with Van Gaal. Van Gaal got maybe the right players that he wanted. We won it with him. Even we won trophies with Mourinho. You're going to see a lot more of the younger generation start following United. Now you see a lot more City supporters, a lot more Liverpool supporters now because now they're starting to win. So you've lost now the younger generation because you're not winning. And that's what it is. All these young generations follow teams that are winning. And you've lost that now because you didn't want to you didn't want to spend. Like what Bob's was saying, we sold Ronaldo to get Overton and Owen. Like what are we doing as a club, as Manchester United? It's a joke. And look, we don't want to see the scenes, but man, like what's it going to take?
We were warned by Van Gaal.
Yeah, man.
Listen, Van Gaal came out and said it. You've got money men, bankers making footballing decisions. Look, whether you didn't like Van Gaal or not, okay, we played a certain way of football. Okay, we won a trophy. I believe he was undefeated against the top six. We rinsed Liverpool, and he came out and said that the players he wanted, they said no, and he was like, "You've got bankers making footballing decisions." That was the warning. Warning. Literally the warning to say we are in trouble, And you know what? I tell you what, I do hundreds. Obviously, Fergie left when he left, fair play. But I honestly think he didn't have the health to go against these people and think I'm not doing this. So he left. And when you see this now, he couldn't have done this. He couldn't have went up against this. He couldn't have dealt with this with his health and stuff. And I just think to myself, guys, LBG warned us. Jose said the same thing, Okay,
Yeah.
he said the same thing. Whether you
Yeah.
like Josie or not, he said the same thing. And look what's happening now.
Bob,
Look what's
they
happening now,
took
man.
Jose, one of the greatest managers ever, and reduced him to calling his best season as a manager as a second place finish and winning the Europa League. They lowered his barometer of success to the second tier European competition and a second place finish in the Premier League for him to say that
And
was his
people
best
laughed at
season.
him, Tim.
Yeah,
People
I
laughed
know.
at him.
Yeah,
And then on hindsight, it's a good thing. And you look at
Yeah.
it now, he wasn't lying.
no,
Do you know? And
Yeah.
like, you know, look, we can mock Jose well, but like regarding Manchester United,
yeah,
what he said was the truth. And Jose, you might not like him or how he illustrates himself, but he will always say, "This is how it is."
Yeah.
And I tell you what, yeah, for him to say Man United finishing second, like you just said, Tim, and Europa League was the best career thing he's ever did.
yeah,
Like, come on, come in second.
yep.
Because he
Mine-
knew what he was working
15
with.
points behind the leaders. He finished
Was it-
15 points behind
Wasn't it
the leaders.
19? Wasn't it 19 points?
It might have been 19.
Yeah,
Maybe it
actually
was.
it's 1919, yeah.
19?
But that's
Yeah,
not
19
right, guys.
points. Yeah.
Not even close.
And
That
that's
season
like,
we lost it in Christmas, the title.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Jose always says, you know, he always says, no one cares if you don't win it. I prefer not to talk. You know how he talks. He says there's no point talking about leagues and stuff if you've not won it. You can't sit at his table. He said it so many times. So imagine when he went to Man United, he must have thought, job on. I'm going to bring the glory days back. Don't care about the football, but we will win trophies. Can you imagine when he sat and told them, I want this player and that player, and he got Lee Grant?
Yeah.
This is, listen,
That-
you guys are the bankers. I'm Jose Mourinho. I need this player to play like this, play like this. And you guys are the bankers. Never kicked a ball, never even probably stood on a pitch or even smelt grass or anything like that. And you're telling me no, but yo, we can get you Lee Grant as a backup. Are you fucking kidding me?
I need a center. I need a center. I need a center back, but we
No.
can give Phil Jones a 4-year deal and save some money.
Yeah.
You guys
And when you
remember
put
that Spurs when we played? I think we played Spurs. I can't remember who we played, and they talked about Harry Maguire, and then Jose laughed. He went, "I asked for Harry Maguire last season."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted him for 50 and they ended up spending 80 on him. Even like I remember there was a interview with Pogba on some French TV show, and they were asking about the move to Man United, and he said, "Oh yeah, the talks were happening 2 years before he came to Old Trafford. So the deal was happening when Van Gaal was there. So Van Gaal really wanted Pogba. It wasn't Mourinho. That's why towards the end there was a falling out. So you're not getting the players at when they want to come or when the manager wants them. You're getting them at random times. Whenever
Do you know
what?
what Man United is? Do you know what Man United is? Man United is the spouse here. I'm not going to say women or actually no. I'm going to say this. It's your missus, yeah, telling you to take the bin out, and you don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it, and then she's not there, but the bins are.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
else?
it, mate. That's such a good comparison.
You know what else?
That's
You know what else is?
universal.
You know what else is very interesting
Amazing.
as well, and you can look into it as deep as you want, but let's not forget what this weekend was, guys. And United just happened to know and back. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying not backing it is the wrong thing, but the social media boycott this weekend, the club have had to do nothing, literally, except just tell authorities what's going on. They broke nothing, but one thing they did do today in the midst of all of this was start leaking news regarding Edison Cavani staying at the football club. And they will say it's not directly from them, but they're the ones who leaked the news out. And this, while everything was going on, started to come out over social media. Absolutely no morals, no guilt, no nothing. Kind of says exactly what we're up against here. But Bob's will come back quickly onto it. Actually, no, Tim, I'm just going to come back onto it quickly with you, mate, as well. But Bob's touched on this before, and so did Botch, actually. You know what? All these people now taking the moral high ground saying this was wrong today. Yes, it was wrong. Let's just get it right. The stuff that went on in the stadium, all wrong. Fans that drove to stupidity, and this is what's happened. But everyone's taking the moral high ground now. It's like, well, you know what? If we're the ones who have to suffer for the rest of the league, I'm happy to be that. You know, I'm happy to be that fan to suffer the consequences if this brings on the 50+1. If this takes it to the House of the Parliament, if the government and the councils are having to send more police and helicopter police in, like there was today, to try and let's not even bring COVID into this, to try and stem the flow of football fans, trying to steady things out, you know. And I'm looking at your reactions there, guys. There's something happening on the news that I'm not seeing here. I'm just waiting. But
No, mate,
this right now, if United are the fall guys for all of this, Tim, are we bothered? Really?
Yeah.
Biggest club in the world, as we say.
I think
no one's protested like we have.
Club,
no one's stopped a football game, have they? So
we've been there since back when we were Newton Heath with Billy Meredith involved in the setting up of the players unions. You know, our players have always taken a stand for us, and Harry Stafford saving the football club with his dog Major, you know, right up through Sandy Turnbull leaving the club to fight in the First World War. I mean, all through history. We can go on and on and on. Sir Matt Busby leading us into Europe. You know, we've always been at the forefront of sort of doing the right thing, fans, players, the club in general. I mean, even to give the club credit, even during COVID, up until the whole Super League thing, you know, they were doing some really good things and they were getting involved. Marcus Rashford, of course, involved with the school meals for kids. So United and its fans and its players and the people associated with the club should be leading this charge. And it is important because these owners will be back. Like the Glazers, does anybody believe the Glazers' apology? There's not a fan amongst us that believes that these owners won't try to sell us up the river again if it means that they're going to make money. So as United, and that's just not United fans, that's the game in general. That's foreign owners that are coming in general and not understanding what these clubs are about. So we have to be at the forefront of this change as fans, players, everyone associated with United. And
there is a little bit of breaking news actually, guys. Manchester United are set to be hit with a serious penalty by the Premier League and the FA.
Told you.
But Bruno Fernandes will step up to take it. But there you go. People take that one. Sucks you right in.
Set us up good for that one, mate.
Gonna put a bit of light on the end of the day. Bobbs was gone. Bobbs was gone there. He's like, I said it. I told you. That was the one. Beautiful. Clip that one up, Bobbs. Put that one up later, mate. But
did you know what? Just to elaborate what Tim was saying, right?
Yeah, go for it.
I agree with everything what Tim said, but like, you know, we have a history of, and this is before us. If you read into my United history, there's a history of that. The fans always make their voices known if they're not happy. You know, we need to remember, Fergie wasn't on board with these people. We need to remember that. You know, what he done, he worked miracles. You know, he won them trophies and stuff. But do you know who I blame? Not even just the Blazers, but I blame the Premier League, right? Because they need to change the structure or the application of when someone wants to buy a club. Okay, you have to make your intentions known. How much money you're gonna invest, or what are you looking to do with a club? Because I feel like they obviously passed so many checks to get this club right, and FA, Premier League were like, yeah, perfect, blah blah blah. But look at what they're doing now. You basically allowed someone to come into your league. They've chilled here for a bit and said, "Do you know what, mate? Thanks very much, but I can make money elsewhere." Literally, right. And it's like, do you know what I'm saying? And like, obviously, you can't see the future, but there has to be legislation or football law to say you cannot do that. You cannot if you opt to leave the league, that triggers a clause where you have 12 months to sell the club that you own or whatever. Because that plain simple, guys, let's be honest. Okay, today was about the Glazers, yes, okay, and you know the Super League was the last straw. Let that be known, it was the last straw. But really deep it and analyze it. They literally said, as a group of chairman executives, we can make so and so much money by playing in this league. We don't need to be here. Now, how mad does that? This is not changing jobs because you're going to get more pay at this other employer. You're literally saying Man United will leave the Premier League and we will now take part in this European Super League because financially it makes more sense for us. So none of the history, the rivalry, the ethos on grass football, the relegation, promotion, the pyramid of everything. This guy, these board people have just said, yeah, we're going to leave. And it wasn't even like, what do you guys think? It wasn't like, you know how Man United send you these stupid emails? And it wasn't even like a survey or anything. What would you think of Man United? They just said, yeah, we're going. Like, they didn't even paint a nice picture. They could have done, like, some videos or brought it back to, like, when we played Real Madrid, AC Milan. Like, there's a way of illustrating a message, yeah? We just got, like, a statement. Are you kidding me?
Out of touch.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Big up Stevie as well in the comment there, mate. I was there too, mate. It was a crazy day, and they were just finishing up really at the end of the video, guys. And this is it. At the end of the day, all these football fans around England, especially right now, looking at this, going, "No, this is disgraceful. This is negative." Deep down there, like that. That's exactly what they're doing. I'm telling you right now. United are going to get punished for this. Simple. There's no way that we can get away with it. When or how, I do not know. But all that's left for me to say is thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hopefully, you will find something better to do with your Sunday evening. I wouldn't recommend turning on Spurs because that will probably just send you under, completely under. But I'm sure there's plenty more you can do. We want to get Bocce off the bed. That's the main thing right now. We need to let the man sleep. He's up at 3 a.m. over there in Sydney, Australia, guys. You've got to give the guy some credit for staying up and wanting to talk about this as well. So, big up to you, Bocce. Thanks for coming on for the first time, mate. We will get you on again, mate. It is brilliant that we've got fans from all over the world. Canada, Australia. We had Keen on before, Ireland. The man from Scotty Botland is in here as well. Bob's is with me. Guys, thanks for all the super chats, all the chats, everyone in the comments. Just going to give you guys a quick shout out for your socials where the people can get you if they want to catch up. But you just give people a shout out to your socials, mate, and your channel, whatever you've got there, pal.
Yeah, on YouTube, the Football Capital, Instagram, Football Capital, Twitter, Football Capital.
Bob's.
OnlyFans, Football Capital.
Nice, I like it. Bob's, mate.
Yeah, Bits and Bobs on YouTube, Bits and Bobs _ on Twitter and Instagram. And obviously, I've got the catchiest YouTube phrase, yeah, so what? But put a hashtag Glazers out on the back of that as well. So, yeah, thanks for having me, man. Seriously.
Yeah, Glazers out. That's the one. That's having it. My man, Tim, over in Canada. Midday for you today, is it, mate?
Midday. Nice day out, so outside in the man cave. Niagara Red on Twitter and Niagara MUFC on the for the supporters club over here in Niagara.
Good stuff. Fans all over the world will be looking at this day, and you know what? You're going to have to remember it. This is the first time I can remember a game being cancelled due to the fans. It's going to go down in history today, guys. Just remember that. But for now, we're out of here, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. It is for a major cause today. And obviously, hit that subscribe button just to the corner of Bob's there as he arranges his beard. Just click on that red button there. Guys, we're done. Share the video on your socials. For now, we are out of here. Oh, just a second. And I can't not put it in. Super chats, obviously, guys. Much appreciative. Ronald, not seen you for a while, my man. Good to have you in. People saying there was vandalism. I saw one tripod being thrown and not even the camera. Is that vandalism or owners taking 1.5 billion? Oh, Ronald, you're back with a bang there, my man. I've got to say, but just out of time, guys. I've got to have to go. I don't know when I'm going to see you next because I don't know when this game is going to be played. I expect it to be tomorrow, but until then, stay peeled for all the news, and we will bring you any updates of what is happening on the channel also when news breaks. Guys, we're out of here.